What's up, YouTube world? This is a Nerd Herd production. This is your boy JR, the resident asshole of the Nerd Herd. I am on an international show today with Ben from Attention Seeking Geek, my brother from across the pond. How's it doing, sir?
It's doing very well, very well. I'm giddy, positively giddy to be on the show today. It's nice to have an opportunity to gush about Star Wars and not be, judged again by my mum.
Yeah. Unfortunately, what's weird is my mom actually embraces it. She's like, "That's the one least nerdy thing you do." I'm like, "Oh."
To
thanks.
be fair, I say that I joke, but I actually went to my first ever convention was Star Wars Celebration in 2007, and
nice.
I attended it with my mother. I am proud to say, at 16 years old, I hadn't found my people by then. Still looking, but yeah, I went with my mum. No shame.
How was that celebration? Because I've heard mixed things about the European ones.
Well, I mean, for me at 16 years old, I'd never been to a Comic Con or a convention of any sort. So I felt like I'd stepped into Disneyland for nerds. Yeah. Like it was the first time that I'd kind of experienced cosplay, and back then I got excited about seeing stormtroopers, and now it's just like they're part of the background at a Comic Con, But yep. it was. As cheesy as it is to say, it was magical for me at that point.
Obviously, I get it.
Second time around, I was a lot older and stuff like that. But I think it's always special here in the UK, just because it doesn't come around as often as it does in the States.
If it comes around ever again.
Well, yeah.
Not trying to be mean, it just sounds like, at least last I heard, it sounds like they're going to keep pinging it in the US.
Well, I mean, what we've got, I've got the two programs here. So it was that was 2007.
Nice.
That was
nice
the
Beatles
first
reference.
One. So cool. Like, this is honestly such a cool piece of art. And then this is rubbish. Black and white program. But yeah, this was 2016. So I mean, you've got nearly 10 years between them there. So it might well be another 10 years before we get it again.
The other one was in Japan. Was the other one they did?
I know they've done one in like Germany and stuff.
I think Germany and Japan were the two other ones.
Right. Okay. I mean, I might try and get over to another one in Europe. If they host it in France or something. I mean,
if you ever get a chance, if you can get the time off, and it obviously be a very expensive trip. If they're at Orlando, go to do the Disney World, the whole thing.
Oh man. It would be a dream come true. It's certainly on the bucket list. Like I've said to my wife, if I get life-threatening illness, like first thing, let's go. So I'm just holding out now for that.
Yeah, actually, my first
the trip, not the illness.
Yeah, the first one I went to was 2014 at Anaheim.
Okay, cool.
And that was right when they did the sequels, the first trailer for the sequels and everything.
You old as hell, aren't you?
It was nice. I will say I cried when you heard Han go, "We're home, Chewie." And that first time seeing that trailer. But yeah,
I mean that trailer, like for Force Awakens, like I just felt like it ignited so much kind of emotion in you as a fan. Like, and I remember seeing BB-8 for the first time, and it just completely blew my mind. Like, it's a very kind of fantastical design, and it moved in a way that I'd never seen before. And that moment and the Chewie we're home moment really kind of gave me butterflies, I think.
Well, and they actually had BB-8 at the con. Like, they brought him out on stage because we all thought, oh, that's CGI. There's no way a droid's doing that. And they roll him out on stage, and we're just like, that's fucking real?
It's so
How
cool.
the hell is that real?
Yeah, I love that little shit.
Yeah. BB-8's one of the better parts of the sequels. But
Yeah.
we'll get into that a little later. I'm also going to the new one. Well, the next one is going to be this next year in Anaheim again. So I'm looking forward to that. But
Yeah. Oh, I mean, if I was out, in the States with you guys, I'd be making an effort to go every time I could. Really.
yeah, I didn't go to Chicago because it's fucking cold in Chicago in April. I don't know who
Well,
thought that was a smart idea.
I mean, I live in the north of United Kingdom,
Yeah.
which really it's
Well, I see you
we
got your
get the
wall
one
tire
sunny
on.
day. Yeah. We get the one sunny day a year, which is always nice to look forward to.
Yeah, see, I'm a wimp. I'm in California, where it rains maybe a week a year, and it's most of the time it doesn't get below like 55, 60. And then we'll have it as high as like I think we had 112 just recently, or 113, like last month. That's very rare.
There you are. It's like Tatooine, but with more gyms and filler.
Yep. So let's start off with some rapid fire questions.
Okay, cool.
You should know the answer to this one, but who shot first, Han or Greedo?
It's got to be Han, hasn't it?
It's got to be Han. Green milk or Banta steak?
Oh, I wanted to pick blue milk. Damn it. I'm gonna go steak. It's nice to have a steak, isn't it?
That is nice.
As a treat.
Favorite bounty hunter?
I always was drawn to Bosk.
Nice. I always like Bosk. Ugly little bastard, but I like him. Let's see. Let's go with the ships. Actually, we're gonna do it a little different. Land speeder or scout trooper bike. Like a swoop.
Yeah. Scout trooper bike, just because those things are fast as hell.
Yeah, they're definitely as fast as hell.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I can't even drive a car, so I wouldn't stand a chance on one of those things trying to, right turn, left turn. I'd be smashing into that tree in a heartbeat.
And then have an Ewok poking a stick in your face.
It's also like why did they think that was a good vehicle to drive on Endor of all places, which is literally just trees everywhere? Like
that's just the Empire. Just showing the Empire how stupid they were. Sometimes
idiots.
They figured put the same thing on everything.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of 3 good planets for you. We'll go Crate.
Okay.
Tatooine or Nal Hutta. Which one would you stay at?
Crate.
Okay. You like your salt, huh?
Well, it can go on the steak.
That is true. It is actually a pretty planet. I like the white with the red underneath. I thought it was kind of a cool effect. Made no fucking point, but
it feels pretty mild as well. Like weather-wise, it feels pretty just standard, which
yeah,
more habitable.
So we're gonna try one new game here. Would you rather?
Okay.
So, would you rather sleep in a tauntaun for a month, and that means cutting one tauntaun, the same tauntaun, the whole month, so it's gonna get nice and ripe, or wear slave Leia outfit for Jabba for, let's say, 3 months?
I mean, I'm probably going to go for the latter. I think there's a lot of people out there on the internet that would like to see that, as in me in the slave Leia outfit, and I put on a good show. I can I'll have a little dance. I think Jabba would enjoy it. If he wants more, then the price is right.
Hopefully, bring him some new music though, because that one girl just did not do it.
No, well, yeah. I mean, Cy Snootle's vocals, maybe drag after a while.
At least get the girl from Solo that was singing in what's his name's
in his bar
Fortress.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, it's almost like that as a forgettable film there, isn't it?
I actually like Solo. I thought Solo was a good film.
It's good. I think that's the point. It's good, and it kind of doesn't do anything more than that. And I think it's hard because the benchmark is so high with fill-ins after Rogue One. Like, how can you can't do that?
I think also you're placing, at least for America, you're placing America's sweetheart in sense of Harrison Ford. I mean, you're putting some unknown
he's
guy.
The world's sweetheart. Don't worry, he's our sweetheart too.
For God's sake, he just needs to stop flying though. Just stop flying. And
he got injured the other day as well
in Indiana Jones. Yeah,
again, he just is not learning his lessons.
Nope,
absolute nutbag.
But yeah, I thought Solo was a good movie, but I think it suffered because of the other movie that came out before it that I shall not name. But anyways, so let's start out with, how did you get introduced in the Star Wars universe? What was your first film? Like, who touched you in the wrong spot?
Oh, well, that's a answer for another day. But I actually got introduced to the original trilogy via VHS recordings from British television. So and it's very strange, like what you remember in life. Like, I don't remember a lot, but I will always remember these VHS recordings. So I remember the news specifically, and it was like a big deal in the UK. It was like, following the news tonight, we've got the premiere of Return of the Jedi or whatever it was. And I remember the adverts, like it had AIDS adverts like in between the film. and like old Tango adverts and Yellow Pages, which is like a directory here in the UK and stuff. Very random, but yeah. So that was my introduction, and it just, obviously, as most children watching Star Wars, it just completely blew my world apart, and I was hooked from the off. And I think I'd always, even from like really young years with like Power Rangers and stuff, I always loved monsters and aliens and beasts. Okay. And I think I was always drawn to that. So Star Wars obviously ticked just so many boxes on that front, and that's kind of what drew me in. But I'm afraid to say I am that era, that I am the Jar Jar Binks era. I was about 13, I think, when that film came out, when episode 1 came out. So I was like the prime age to kind of enjoy that.
Oh yeah.
And that was my film, and I've got it here today to show you. This is, my grandma took me to Hamleys in London, which is like a really like posh toy store in London. And this was one of the first Star Wars figures I'd ever kind of went out and bought myself.
Nice.
And this is the Contour Jar Jar Binks.
And a true nerd keeps it in the the blister pack.
Well, to be fair, I'm an unboxer, but that figure, I think, because it means so much to me, kind of memory wise and stuff, I've decided to keep it in its cage. But yeah, so I was kind of prime age for episode 1, and then obviously, well, I mean, you know the story after there. It just hasn't stopped since. And I think what's amazing now as a fully grown, 32-year-old fan, is that we're just getting spoiled rotten now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're definitely getting spoiled rotten.
And you might not enjoy everything, but it's kind of okay, because you know that something else will be coming out in like 6 months or whatever, that you might then enjoy. And there's so many different styles as well. We're getting the animation, we're getting the live action, and well, Christ, they announced the anime thing today, which makes me sick in my mouth. Like I really hate anime stuff, but to some fans that will be a marriage made in heaven.
Yeah.
So
I have to actually watch. I've been getting a lot of people asking me about that, so I'm probably gonna watch it and do a little special clip on that one,
nice.
just because everyone's kind of wondering what I'm thinking about that. So, but I might bring in a special guest to help me with that one. Someone's a little more anime centric.
Yeah, it's very anime.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I have nothing against anime, and my look at it is, well, if it brings more people into it and embraces stuff, that's fine with me.
It's just another medium, isn't it, to tell those stories? And
exactly.
As I said, those mediums aren't always going to be for everyone, and I think that's the joy, isn't it? It's constantly evolving Star Wars to kind of tell the stories in different ways. And the problem with sequels, and it's everyone's got their own version of what they thought was going to happen. And especially, like, even to the point where, the old books and stuff literally had their versions of what happened.
Oh, yeah.
So I think what's hard with those new films is that it's just going to be nearly impossible to meet everyone's expectations with that.
Well, I think once they step away from the Skywalker realm and go, okay, we're gonna leave Luke and Leia and all of them over here. We're gonna go over here and do something different. I think they're gonna be okay, because, like, I've got a personal connection of, this is what I expect Luke to be. This is how I expect Chewie to be. This is how I expect Han to be. You've got your personal view of what you expect each one of those characters to be.
Yeah.
And I don't think everyone's going to have the same point of view as what they should be. And I mean, I've said many times, I just, as far as I'm concerned, they could take the end of, right as soon as she hands the lightsaber to Luke, I would rather have him just force lightning and kill her right then and there, and then do what they did.
Look, I mean, as I said, I think even me, I'm one of these, like, I know what kind of a fan you are, JR. I know what kind of a fan you are, and that's cool. Like that, you guys were there from the start, so we've got to respect that. But I think I'm that next generation that's a little bit more optimistic, a little bit more like, I'll kind of stick my neck out for the Gungans and things like that. But yeah, even I struggle with some of those decisions. Just the narrative, I think, more than anything, with those sequels and the way they kind of approach some of those story arcs and stuff. But the cinematography is still stunning in those films.
No, it is.
It is still Star Wars, and the acting was incredible. And as much as Mr. Hamill and everyone from back in the day are gods to us, let's be honest, the acting sometimes maybe
I agree,
what it could be.
and like I said, I never blame, like, I'm not anti Rey. I don't think she's a bad character. I think she's badly written. I actually like Finn. I thought Finn was a cool character. I was really hoping
he was on track to, like, be, the Jedi that we all thought he was going to be.
Well, that, and I was like, I was waiting for him and Poe after the first one to hook up. I thought we were going to get our first, like, gay couple in Star Wars. I was like, those two look like they're a couple of BB-8s, like the cat. You know what I mean?
I love that. I'd be all for that. Like, I honestly think the chemistry, if you go back and watch it with that mindset, like, completely, like the tension you could cut with a knife. And
I'm not, I mean, like, I'm straight as the day is long, but I'm just like, that would have been awesome. And if he then became a Jedi, we'd have our first, like, openly gay Jedi in the comics. I'd be like, that'd be badass. But they wanted Finn to fall in love with Rey, I think. or Poe. I don't remember which one.
Or well, Rose at one point was potential, and
Well,
yeah,
I think the problem was felt like Rose was forced in there. Rose was like, oh, everyone thinks these two are gay, so we're gonna put Rose in there, kind of wedge a thing in between it. And I feel bad for the actress because she got a raw deal. Like people hate her.
like some
And
people
that's
out there
not
are
right.
just horrendous. Like to an actress who's pretending to be someone. Like, come on, guys. But like, I think her story, that opening sequence with her sister and things like that, was fantastic. And I would have loved to have maybe seen her introduction in the Force Awakens. And I think if we had got that earlier, then people might have invested more, kind of.
Except for the bombs went to work the way they did. Kind
Hey.
of space and gravity are kind of conflicting there.
Look, I think science is probably not the top priority when it comes to Star Wars.
No. But anyways, so getting back and speaking of also actors that got a raw deal, was the guy that played Jar Jar, and he's now starting to kind of get he's kind of getting a comeuppance. Like, I guess he was at the last celebration in Chicago.
Yeah.
And everyone gave him a big standing ovation and stuff. And from what I understand, he is doing a new show with Disney.
Yes.
That it's like a temple guard or something they're calling it, or something like that.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a I'm cautious that there's differences in terms of what you watched as a kid and what I watched, but I think it's kind of like almost like one of those fun house shows where the kids run around and there's a host and
right,
you know,
like
but
Double
it's a
Dare.
Star. Yeah. We had Fun House and things like that.
Okay.
Fun House prizes to be won. Okay. A whole lot of fun. UK viewers will get that. But yeah, so I think it's like that, but set in Star Wars, and he kind of serves as like a Jedi, kind of, who is the presenter as well.
Okay.
I mean, the guy is like handsome as hell. I think he's actually, a competent kind of performer and actor as well. For me, Jar Jar, like when I was 13, fart jokes and
no,
silliness,
it makes sense.
Right up my street.
Yeah. No, I don't hate. I mean, like I'm not a fan of Jar Jar. He kind of drives me nuts, but he wasn't meant for me.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like my shop owner he's about to turn 50, so we're like 8 years.
Oh man,
age
he was
difference.
too old to even be going the first time.
But his son was born when I think it was the second movie came out, like literally the day that they were going to go see the second movie. He was born, and he's watched the movies with his kids because he's a big sci-fi guy, and he's put in perspective a sense of, okay, the New Hope and stuff was for me, but that same magic that I had, my kids had with the prequels. And I was like, okay, I can appreciate that.
And I guess with the sequels as well, there will be kids out there that were 12 years old when they went to see Force Awakens, and Rey is their Luke, and I think it is, you lose sight of that more and more the older you get, kind of thing, as a fan. But I do you know who I loved, Gungan wise? Captain Tarpals. I was a big Captain Tarpals fan. I just kind of loved that he was like the only one going, like, Jar Jar is an absolute idiot. He was like the only one to say it out loud.
Yeah.
And I loved his voice, like, Jar Jar. But yeah, Gungans for life.
No, my only real disappointment with that movie was because, like, so back then, I don't know if you have like Fandango, but or have what Fandango is?
I know what it is, but yeah, I don't think we have it legally.
So back when that movie came out, you had to go to the movie theater 7 days in advance and stand in line to buy your tickets, and then come back 7 days later to watch the movie.
Magic.
So, mind you, I was a huge Star Wars fan. Star Wars coming back, and I saw trailers with Darth Maul and everything. I'm like, this guy looks badass. He's got double wielding saber.
Oh, don't even.
I mean, I had like a pen that was a double wield, like the lightsaber was double wielding, so there's 2 pens connected to it.
I think the first erection I ever got was Duel of Fates, to be honest. Like, what a scene. What a character.
But I mean, all that stuff, and you're just like, okay, this guy's gonna be bad. This guy's gonna make Vader look like a joke. And it's like, okay, this guy's gonna be our villain through all 3 of the movies. He's gonna be badass. And then you go see it, and he's killed in the first one. And it's not even by the Jedi Master. It's by the apprentice. And I mean, mind you, it's Obi-Wan, but still.
I was gonna say it's like I guess it's there as a device to show that Obi-Wan was like lit. Like even when he was like in training, he was lit.
Yeah, but it was still one of those things. Just like, you're gonna kill him, and I'm just like, why? Why are you killing him in the first? And also, why kill Qui-Gon in the first? I mean, I wouldn't mind Qui-Gon dying if, like, Qui-Gon died, and then Darth Maul got away, and then we had Darth Maul through the other movies.
Because then you hate Darth Maul for for a long time before you even see him again. That period that you're waiting for Attack of the Clones, you really hate Darth Maul, like, and you really want to get him. Yeah, and I think on reflection, I don't think many people, I may get a lot of hate for this, bought massively into Count Dooku. As incredible as, Christopher Lee is and things like that. Like, I don't think many people kind of bought into that, and I don't think it was that clear. We never really. His story was it was kind of talked about in passing, but we never actually saw that happen, or so immediately you're not that invested in him as a character and as a bad guy. And I think Darth Maul could have stood where he stood for the rest of the films. It's
also Christopher Lee, rest his soul, as great of an actor he is. He played this aristocrat, this character that was just, I am better than all of you, and all this stuff, and it's just like, you're boring. You're an old man that, I mean, you just showed me a dude that can do flips with a dual-side lightsaber, and now you're showing me this guy that's got his nose up and can use a lightsaber. And I'm just like, yeah, I'll take the other dude. Give me that dude that does the kicks in the air and shit.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I never actually thought about swapping them, and now I've got that thought in my head. I don't think I'll ever get it out. Imagine how cool those films would have been.
Think about if you did that scene with Yoda and Dooku.
Oh my god, Yoda versus Darth Maul. Oh, stop it.
You have a little Yoda jumping around and Darth Maul trying to kick him and shit. I mean, how badass would that have been?
It would have looked like someone. It would have looked like someone trying to swat a fly in the kitchen. Just everywhere. That would have just been one of the most
badass scenes in history. I mean, that would have rivaled anything that Vader did.
Yeah. I think it would have been up there. Well, you never know. Maybe in like the way these shows go, maybe there was some like secret like Darth Maul versus Yoda like scrap down an alleyway that we never saw.
Maybe. Because fight. You've got that fight. Then also think about this. What if Anakin fought him and had to kill Vader? Or not kill Vader. I mean, Anakin had to kill Maul. What if he's got all this built-up hate?
What if that moment was Maul and not Dooku in Episode 3?
Yeah.
You just see Darth Maul's head bobble down. Oh my god, that's it. That's it now.
And you just see from that point on, you see like they do close-up of the eyes. You can just see his eyes just go black at that point because he just switched the dark side right then. Because he would just go, fuck you for killing Qui-Gon, fuck you for all this, and just end it. And then now he has to go fight Obi-Wan, and gets his ass kicked.
And because Annie has made eye contact with Darth Maul as well, like in episode, so that as an arc, like just as a moment.
Yeah.
Oh.
Guys,
we are wasted on YouTube. Us two. This is the first time we've ever got together, and we are fire. But this is fan fiction next level.
But I mean, that to me, that would have you got your overarching guy, and it would have been so much better. And you would have two guys paralleling to the end, and then attacking each other. But
like poetry.
Yep. So. Let's get back on track a little bit.
Yeah, sorry. I'm king of digressing, by the way.
No, it's all good. I love this stuff. This is what gets my blood going. And it's 10:30 in the morning, and this is obviously not doing enough for it. But anyways, what would you be? Would you be a Jedi, a Sith, a Merc, a smuggler?
I think I've always, the older I've got, the less I've been able to understand the Jedi way. Like, I think I'd struggle on the whole, like, you're not allowed to love anyone thing.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, if a girl said my name, I'd fall in love with her. And now she's my wife. No, but yeah, so I think I always kind of, the more I've looked into it, the more I've kind of gone, oh man, it's pretty boring life to be a Jedi. Like, it's a pretty, they're very
monkish.
Again, this is a UK thing, but yeah, liberal dem. They're very kind of like, oh, we're gonna not really commit either way. I think I'd be a Sith, but like a reluctant Sith, like Annie. I think I would start a Jedi and just very quickly decline, and before you know it, I'm killing younglings in soft play. But yeah, so I would probably say Sith, unfortunately. Like,
well, you could always be like a Quinlan Voss, where you're more like a fallen Jedi, and you lean
or a grey
Sith,
Jedi. That's the that's what the kids say. Grey Jedi, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a smuggler. I think, again, because even being a Sith, I think requires training and discipline and skill. And
killing your
not
master.
killing your master. And I just haven't got the bottle for that. So maybe I reckon I'd maybe be one of these, scum and villainy kind of, one of these degenerates in Jabba's palace or something.
So what would be your weapon of choice?
I love Chewie's bowcaster. But then again, I think I'm like rubbish with like guns and aiming and stuff like that. Like, can I say like a stolen lightsaber? Like I've jacked someone's lightsaber.
Yeah.
Do you know whose lightsaber I stole? Mace Windu's, because I love, like, purple's my favorite color.
Oh, there you go.
So I was like just knocking about in Coruscant, and he
went to the way lower levels,
and I was like, oh damn, like, okay, but I'm gonna take that. So I've
would you remove the hand from it first?
Yes, yeah, and it's a tight grip, so I had to use some butter and lube that bad boy up. But I got it now. I got it.
That's another thing on the new ones. Where did what's her name? The little chick. I've got her statue in the other room. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. And it's Maz. Yes.
Where the fuck did she get the lightsaber? Why didn't you give me that answer, folks?
Yeah,
she got Luke's lightsaber somewhere.
She's an odd character as well, because they kind of never really wrapped up her kind of arc, I don't think, in that third film. Like, I feel like she was just kind of, we got her in like a hologram, didn't we, in that final flick. And again, she was a great character, and I think it's Lupita Nyong'o had played her, and I think she played her really well, and it was a character I was really intrigued by, and I kind of liked the idea of this kind of wise little old lady. Oh god, it's another thing they dropped the ball on. They're racking up now.
her and the other guy that they had work on C-3PO, that little
Babu Frick.
Yeah.
Okay, Babu
I
Frick
love
is my
both those.
favorite character of the sequels. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. And can I say, missed opportunity, but Hot Toys, they make, like these beautiful lifelike
Oh, yeah.
replicas. Like a life-size Babu Frick by Hot Toys. Take my money.
Yeah. I
Need that in
personally
my
stay
life.
away from Hot Toys because they're so beautiful and they're so perfect, but they're so damn expensive and well worth.
Very expensive.
They're for what they're asking for. It's spot on. But I know I'd be wanting to get every one of those damn things, and at $600-700 a pop, I would be in the poorhouse really quick.
Even if
with my
like
toys.
some bootleg company in like China like make a statue of Babu Frick that's 1-to-1 scale, make it happen. If you're watching from a factory in China, get on it.
So let's see. Do you have like a favorite Star Wars moment? Maybe like when somebody gets his tongue stuck in the pod racer.
I love Sebulba as well. Can I say? I need more. I need a Sebulba cameo of some sort in some kind of show.
You need more bad
down the
Jewish
line.
acting in the movie. Is that what you're saying?
It was, distinct lack of it from there on in. No, favorite moment. I know we've talked about Darth Maul and stuff, and I do think that is such a stunning moment, and it kind of erases so much of that film that for some people does kind of come off as naff. I don't know. It's so hard. I think Chewie's cry as Han gets frozen in carbonite, I think, is such a heartbreaking kind of moment. Like, and I know that the kind of focus of that scene is Leia and Han and stuff, but it's actually kind of Chewie trying to kind of swallow that moment and stuff, which it always kind of. I loved Chewie as a kid, and still now I think he's probably up there for me in terms of like favorite characters. So. But I think that moment was just so dramatic, and when you are watching it as a child, you do genuinely think that's it. You're like, well, that's it. Like the bad guys have won. That whole end sequence of Empire it's
a beautiful end sequence.
You just feel like crap. Yeah, like when you first watched it as a child, I was just like, what is the point in life anymore? Because everything is over. But then Return of the Jedi came, and I've got to say as well, Return of the Jedi has so many moments. This is hard. It's like asking me my favorite child. I only have one. I think it's her. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the end of Empire, just as just that last kind of 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, I love the part when you see Boba Fett walking out with Han, the carbonite floating behind him. You know what I mean? And just such an iconic shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did love it. I think one of the moments I loved in Jabba's palace was the dun dun dun, where they're all kind of like nodding to each other, like the plan is just about. And I love that whole. And then the music kicks in, and Luke jumps, and R2 shoots saber out of his head, and I think that was a real kind of moment. So that's up there as well. There's so many in that original.
I'm actually looking forward to in the comics, because they really haven't, where the Marvel comics are right now, they're leading into Return of the Jedi. They're getting really close, and I'm waiting to see like them, because they basically kind of put they filled in the gap between episode 4 and 5 already.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to see how they get all the garb and everything, get like C-3PO and R2-D2 into Jabba's palace, how they get Leia into that costume, like where they get that costume for her, how they get Lando into the palace, which also
it's a matter of weeks away now, I think, from seeing all that come to fruition. I mean, I've been really impressed by that whole War of the Bounty Hunters series so far.
I think I'm like 4 issues behind. With my holiday this weekend, I'm planning on just reading through a bunch of stuff. The problem is literally my pile of comics is like this big. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
That's the thing, isn't it? You take your eye off the ball for 1 week with these bloody comics, and that's it. You're behind.
That is very true.
Yes, indeed.
So, anything else you want to bring up? Like any cool toys? Anything other than your Jar? I mean, you could bring Jar Jar back if you'd like. But
Jar Jar, can't get enough of Jar Jar, guys. Come on.
You need to get the Jar Jar and Carbonite though. That Ian has.
Is that a custom jobby, right?
No, that's actually from Hasbro, from what he was saying.
What? I need.
Yeah,
I bet it's a lot of.
I bet you it's a chunk of change too, but it's Jar Jar, so maybe not.
Hey, we're out there. Those fans are out.
Oh,
there.
I know your fans are out there.
This is probably my favorite, like my kind of most expensive kind of Star Wars book and it was just something that I missed the first time around, and I went back and I invested in just because she's such an amazing character, and it's obviously a matter of time, isn't it, in terms of spec and stuff. So,
dumb question though, is that the British version or is that the American version?
It's got a $ sign on it.
Okay.
The British like pence copies, I think, tend to be more back in the day, like the Silver Age and Bronze Age stuff. I think now it's just kind of $ copies across the board, which is lucky because the whole pence thing kind of,
Yeah.
I've got a bit of a weird fascination for Jackson.
Okay. we did an interview with the guy that has got a weird fascination with Jackson, right?
Shut up. I need to go back and watch that. That's awesome.
Yeah, we did an interview with Kevin Scott, which he's the guy that's been kind of like bringing back Jackson all the time in the comics, and he's one of the head writers on High Republic.
Mate, that's awesome. That's so cool. I need to check that out. I like you are with comics. I'm behind on YouTube, and I need to so I've got his first appearance,
nice.
And then I've just picked up like all the like dumb Jackson variants that there are.
Nice.
There's that one. There's this one which is great. Obviously people can't see, but it's Obi-Wan's Force Ghost there. That boy is our last hope. And then Yoda says, "No, there is another. Not you," as Jackson just pops his head around the corner of the tree in Dagobah there. And then this one, which is number 1 of Star Wars, which is really cool, as they don't let him in. I think I was a massive fan of Bucky O'Hare as a kid. So obviously, like aesthetically, you're like, wait, is that Bucky O'Hare when you like first see him, sort of thing. And then I kind of enjoyed the parallels and stuff as time's gone on. But you read this kind of appearance back in the day, like he was not treated necessarily as a joke. Like he was a cool, like he kind of had a bit of an attitude to him, like, and I think he was kind of brought in to potentially be one of those bounty hunter characters that we all love, like whether it be Dengar or Bosk. So I would absolutely lose my mind if we got like Jackson back, and like can you imagine like a really cool if they proper went to town on like practical effects, and we got Jackson in Mandalorian.
Well, I believe Filoni is not a fan of Jackson.
Filoni, Dave!
Because I want to say there's a shot from one of the Clone Wars where it's Jackson.
It's a skeleton. Yeah.
But it's funny because we had Kevin Scott on, and that one that you put up, I think it was issue 8 of Star Wars where he's on the cover.
Yeah.
I guess back in the day, you guys got like Marvel Tales or Star Wars Tales or something, and he was talking about how he got a book where issue number 8, and then it was a couple other Marvel comics inside of it also. But it was like done like a not necessarily a trade, but it was done a little bigger. And he, for life of him, thought, "Oh, Jackson's part of Star Wars." And he was watching when he finally got to see the movies. He's like, "Where's the rabbit?" And so he had like this obsession with the rabbit. It was like because the first exposure he got was like an Obi-Wan Kenobi toy,
Yeah.
and then the comic with Jackson in it. And so
top on my list, talking of toys, is the new Black Series Jackson toy that they brought out.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Yeah. I try not to buy too many toys just because I have nowhere to put them.
Well, the problem is if I get that, then I need the Cad Bane one. And then if I get Cad Bane, then so kind of the only one that I actually own is now this one, which is obviously in its packaging and very sentimental to me. But yeah, I used to have a ton of the kind of original ones and had a Falcon and stuff like that. And I swear to God, my mum sold them when I went to like uni or something. I don't know. I haven't gathered the evidence. I haven't gathered the evidence. She denies it refutely, but I'm pretty sure. I've got something very cool to show you actually, which again, I don't know whether it's like a UK thing or have you got. Did you get Tazos in the States?
I don't think so.
Or Pogs?
Yes, Pogs. Yes, we had Pogs.
So this is my original like Tazo Star Wars collection, Star Wars Pogs collection, which I've actually rubbed it off because it looked rubbish, but I had my class written in here and my name. That's like how old it kind of backdated. And oh no, it's still there. Okay, I thought I'd rubbed it off. There you go. Ben Crampton, Class H. And some of them kind of missing over the years and stuff like that. And that's cool. I've gone out and I got them all, and I've got the full collection. So yeah, that is again like a really kind of sentimental, special thing just for me. And then obviously the older you get now, you just kind of you don't want to miss that opportunity when stuff comes out, so you kind of get it there and then. So like Royal Mail in the UK did nice. stamp collection and stuff like that, and I recently collected these as well, which are the trading cards.
Oh, the cards. So very cool.
Smashed out that collection, and that's kind of I did bring some signatures that I'd kind of I've acquired over the years. So we've talked a lot about him, and he was the first person that I met.
Nice.
And it was at that Star Wars celebration in 2007.
That's cool.
With my mum. My mum, who, can I say, when she met him, I shook his hand. I was just like this the whole time. My mum said, "You were very good in that movie." That was her exact words. And he was like, "Thank you." So that was awesome. I've met like Jeremy Bullock and stuff over the years.
Oh, that's cool. I've actually got that comic.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, Adi Granov cover's beautiful. Lucky enough to meet Peter Mayhew as well before he passed. Neil Quashie, I think his name is. And then
Doctor Who coming.
Yeah, Daniel Logan, Paul Blake, who plays, of course, Greedo. I was really lucky to meet Dave Prowser a couple of times. Kenny Baker. Cool. This I got at the premiere in the UK, and so I managed to get to the railings, and I was there like all day, and cool. it was a long ass day, but I was actually due to see the movie at midnight, so the premiere was the same day of its release, at midnight. So my plan was to stand in the cold all day and then go and watch it in the evening. And the only person who came up to us
he seems like a really good guy.
So
you know
cool.
what I mean?
Cool.
And I've heard nothing but good things about all the actors that were in the movies.
Yeah, he was really awesome. So I was really happy with that. Warwick, of course, and then I met Ula
Nice. That's cool.
So, yeah, I've been very fortunate, over the years with conventions. And the funny thing with Jeremy Bulloch, like back in the day, he used to stand in front of his table, really kind of integrating himself with fans and stuff like that. And I just had the most surreal moment. So I was dressed as Shaun from Shaun of the Dead, and I had a cricket bat. We kind of got into a bit of banter with Daniel Logan and Jeremy Bulloch kind of at the same time. They were both kind of doing the same, like in front of their table, meeting fans, having pictures. And it was back in the day where they didn't charge you, to look at someone. Now it's like, right, you made eye contact, that's £20, please. And then we ended up playing like imaginary cricket with Daniel Logan bowling an imaginary ball to Jeremy Bulloch. It was very odd, and I was just like, I'm literally watching two Boba Fett's play imaginary cricket. Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, so those are just some little bits anyway that I wanted to show off because, they've all got little stories to them.
The only one I was lucky enough to meet was Lando. I met Billy D. Williams, and it was actually at a local con. It must have been, it was before Disney bought him, but it was after the prequels, so probably early 2000s.
Okay.
And I basically just want a picture with them. Yeah. But they're like, you have to pay like $20 to get something signed, and then we'll take a picture for you. And I was like, okay, so, but I mean, $20 for a signed photo.
Oh, for Billy D now, like, I mean, you're talking 100 UK pounds or $100 or whatever now, to get someone at his kind of stature. I'm a big Batman fan as well, so that would be like a double whammy for me.
See, I got, just because I'm an ironic bastard, I got, because he had, I imagine you can't get this one anymore, but because he used to do the ads for Colt 45.
Okay.
Beer. So I've got
Thanks, because I thought it was a car for a second. I'm not going to lie.
No, he did an ad for Colt 45, and I've got that signed. Let me see if I can find it real quick, just to kind of show you.
I love stuff like that though. Like I love random things being signed. It's like the scene in Step Brothers where he gets his sword signed by the guy from Pop Idol. And that's why I quite like going to premieres and stuff, because you can kind of take whatever you want and they just kind of sign it.
Well, it was on his table. Like,
okay, that's cool.
He offered it.
How random. Yeah, I mean, if he had that in the UK, we'd all be like, what's that? There you go. Oh, what? I tell you, I've never seen that in my life, but I need that image.
And what's even better?
In A3 on my wall.
He started to sign it. I don't know if you can see it. He started signing it Lando, and then he changed it back to Billy D. Williams.
Amazing.
So I'm like, yeah.
Freudian slip. Is that the mum from Fresh Prince who's like behind him there as well?
Let me see.
The actress.
I don't think it is.
I thought it was for a second there. He looks very suave there. He looks very suave.
But I mean, when I was a kid, my parents owned a liquor store. They owned a store.
Okay.
And so I grew up stocking shelves and stuff as a kid.
Yeah.
So before I even knew what beer was, I was stocking Colt 45s in the refrigerator. So it was kind of one of those things where it was kind of one of those things where it's just like, it fits me. That's why I got that. But cool. He was super nice. But I think this next time, Ian from the Nerd Herd and I are talking about. Well, I know he wants to get Mark Hamill's signature.
Yeah, that's the grail right there.
And after last time, because I could have got Carrie Fisher's when I went, and now I kind of regret not getting Carrie Fisher's.
Oh, it's one of my biggest regrets is never because there were a couple of opportunities. She was at a couple of events that I went to, and I just never did. I kind of always went, oh, it's a little bit too dear, a little bit too expensive for me, and I haven't really got the money. And I thought I should have just bit the bullet, paid on credit card, stole from someone on the street, did what I needed to do to have that moment with her, because it's a big old loss, that.
But I would like to get one with the Emperor. Like, I'd like to get the Emperor to sign something for me, and then do the picture of the Luke and the Emperor, have Ian as Luke's apprentice, and I'll be the Emperor's apprentice.
Awesome. That would be cool. Just don't say anything embarrassing to them. Like with John Boyega at the premiere. Again, I just get flustered, and I went, "You're the man, John." And he went, "Thanks." Signed my thing. Oh, honestly,
I'm actually pretty good at not doing stuff like that. I've met several big comic book writers and artists and stuff, and I've been able to kind of talk to them as human beings. But you do get that moment where your mind just blanks. Like, I met Robert Kirkman, the guy who created Walking Dead, and I just want to say thank you for creating a show. I enjoy it. Didn't want a pitch or anything, but I couldn't even think of what the damn show was called when I met him. Like, I saw him, I know who.
It's amazing how sometimes that information just, you don't need me right now. Bye. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh man. Yeah, I called Bruce Campbell Ash as well. I said thank you, Ash, as he signed the book that on the first page says "Don't call me Ash." Yeah.
Well, at least you didn't call him Ass.
Well, this is true. But yeah, I think with Star Wars though, like all those signatures and all of the things, like they hold such memory for fans and things like that. And I think that's one of the really special things about it. Everyone has their own memories of Star Wars. I think even normal people, like normies, people that aren't geeks or nerds or whatever, like I think they have their memory of where they were the first time they watched Star Wars and stuff. I think it's such a significant part of pop culture in general, really.
No, it is, and it's all. I've always believed it's about moments in life. Yeah. Because we can't take anything with the grave with us, but there will always be those moments you'll remember in your life, and it's make the best of those moments.
Absolutely, here.
But let's go ahead and wrap this up, because my blathering, we've gone almost an hour already.
We're just getting started.
Yeah. So let's start out with, we're going to go, as you know, Rancor, Carbonization, or Sarlacc Pit.
Yeah.
We're going to start out with a fun one. We're going to go Rose, Poe, and Finn.
Oh, wow. Wow, you really went there. Okay, so I think I'm going to put Poe in the Sarlacc Pit. I think he'd irritate me in person. I think he's very entertaining to kind of observe as a voyeur, but I think in person he'd really do my nut in. So I'm going to put him in the Sarlacc Pit so he can suffer. Unfortunately, Rose, just to put her out of her misery more than anything, just give her to the Rancor. Just say, look, these fans, they're going to do more damage to you than the Rancor.
So I'm going to pause you for 1 second and let you think about this. Do you want to put a man of color as a white guy? Do you want to put a man of color on the wall?
Damn it! Now that you say that, let's jig things up a little bit here. You arsehole. Okay. Well, let's. I don't want Rose or Poe on my. No,
you can stick to your guns. You're not in America.
I am going to stick to my guns. I'm gonna put Finn in Carbonate. More just like it's someone to talk to. I want him with a lightsaber though. I want him like with a lightsaber. And in that jacket from the first film. I want him in Poe's jacket.
In Poe's jacket.
Lightsaber. That's my specifications. Before the freeze.
Okay, so the next one's going to be, we're going to go K2SO.
Yeah. Oh, favorite droid potentially.
BB-8 and R2.
I'm gonna put R2 in Carbonite just because he's the icon, isn't he? He is the mold that K2 and BB-8 were made from.
Also, you need a whole lot of fun Carbonite for K2SO.
And I love that, like, they're all little sarcastic buggers,
Yes.
which I really relate to. Like, they're gobshites, they give it back all the time. So, and R2 was always the OG, when it came to giving back chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna put him in Carbonite. I'm gonna put K2 in Carbon in the Rancor. No, oh God, Sarlacc pit. I'm gonna put K2 in the Sarlacc pit, just because I think that would be a lot for the Sarlacc pit to stomach. And I'd be quite interested to see, the journey that K2 has to go to down the throat. And the Rancor trying to catch BB-8 would be the funniest sequence ever.
That would be. I was also thinking with BB, he could just kind of roll around going down the Sarlacc pit because a bunch of rings.
Yeah, it'd be like, did you ever get those things at the fairground where you put the coin in and it kind of spirals down? Yeah,
exactly.
Oh yeah. Well, I was thinking with the Rancor though, it'd be like, when you have a cat and a red light.
Oh yeah,
just trying to catch BB-8. So I'm all for that.
Oh yeah, no, I actually have one of those little small Spiro BB-8.
They're so cool. I just wish they made them 1-to-1 scale. Like, I think people would have paid an extra, even like an extra $100 for the sake of having that technology in a 1-to-1 scale would have been Mr. Trick.
Well, I have all hardwood floors and I have 3 cats. So
awesome.
And then the last one, you may take offense to this one, but this is all the race. This is the full races one, and you've heard this one already, I imagine. But Porg, Gungan, Ewok.
Oh right, okay. I was really worried where that was going to go when you said I'm going to take offense. I'm going to. So I've got to do like the whole race.
Mm-hmm.
The whole species. Okay, that is tricky. I think I think a Gungan would present better than an Ewok in Carbonite. I think Carbonite doesn't present hair and fur that well.
They'd look pretty matted down, I imagine.
It just wouldn't look right. So I think a Gungan could and nice big tall bit of Carbonite on the wall.
Ugly, but yeah.
No, Captain Tarpals. He's a handsome Gungan. And then
tongue all hanging out the side.
Or maybe Boss Nass, like Boss Nass on the wall. Just yeah, what a guy. I was held by Brian Blessed as a baby. Apparently, that's one story.
Oh.
I've got like a great auntie that's like a agent, and she knows Brian Blessed, and apparently he held me.
Oh.
That's it. That's the story. I'm going to put Porgs again. I think for entertainment purposes, I'm going to let the Porgs go up against the Rancor, just because the Rancor would have to catch them all, and it would be a right nightmare, and just all around him and stuff. And then unfortunately, just to give the Sarlacc bad digestion issues, let's put a ton of furry teddy bears down him.
And you just see a bunch of hairballs coming out of it.
Yeah. Just coughing it out. Yeah, nice.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
It's been my pleasure.
How can we find you?
Well, I can't give my address, but I am on Instagram at Attention Seeking Geek, where I post kind of daily comic books that come through my letterbox, or toys, or whatever I've acquired. I do lots of weird, random Photoshop cosplay hybrid picture things when I would get bored. It's an entertaining place, is what I'm trying to say. So please do follow me on there. My YouTube is kind of on. Well, it's kind of frozen in Carbonite at the moment. So There's a great backlog though. If you want to go check out Attention Seeking Geek on YouTube, I've got tons of old videos. And there's actually a Star Wars one. This was the picture that I sent to you before. Is dating with Darth Maul. It's a Darth Maul dating video. Very kind of 80s. It's weird. It's a weird thing, but it's there for you to watch if you want to. And every week I'm on the Killer Comics Show. So if you search Geeky Guy Comics, we host a weekly, very, very similar to Team Nerd Herd, weekly comic book show on there where we go through new books, covers. We chat Loki at the moment and all things kind of nerdy.
Very nice. Yeah, I can't wait for the last 2 episodes of Loki.
It's again, I was saying at the beginning how spoiled we are as Star Wars fans. As also a Marvel fan, it's like the same kind of spoiling situation. It's just I'm just eating up everything Disney gives me right now.
Nom, nom, nom. Just keep feeding us. Scott's belly's gotten big.
Yeah.
But as I like to end every show, in the way of Yoda, collect what you like if you want to do it right. Have a good night, folks.
DJ Abomination.